Hello, Mike V for Northern Pine Woodworking. In this week's episode, we'll take a common 3/8 inch air hose, attach a couple ends, and build this custom adapter that I can attach to my irrigation system and winterize it. To see how we did it, stay tuned. Alright, so let's start off by assembling the first few pieces. I'm going to need 4 pieces of tape, roughly 6 inches long. So this one here already has some dipped pipe thread in there. I'll just screw those two together. You can use a crescent wrench or whatever you have. Alright, so there's our first piece. Next, we'll take the 3/4 to 3/8 piece here. I always look which way the threads are going and which way I'll screw this in. I'm going to screw it this way, so I will wrap the pipe thread or the pipe tape the same direction. So I go around once, twice, 3 times. In this case it's a little extra like this. I like to just twist it a little bit by hand so I can see the threads. Put this in, a couple turns by itself. I'll use the crescent wrench here again. Get the larger crescent wrench out. And we'll start tightening the 2 pieces together. And that's about as tight as I can get it with these wrenches. So now I have the first 3 pieces together. The last piece I have here attaches to the spigot on the hose. Then I have a 3/4 inch female thread here. So we'll double check. We'll want to apply the pipe tape the same direction as before. And I'm not an expert on this by any means. So that's 2 and about 2.5. So I'll insert these together, twist a couple times by hand. And we'll tighten this up just a little bit more. And here's our first piece. So far so good. We'll set this aside. Alright, next up we have our hose. We want to put a quick release, quick connect, 1/4 inch release here. So I'm going to turn this the opposite way since I'm right-handed. I'll twist this on. So I'll grab a piece of pipe tape here. We'll wrap that around slowly. Two, three. That's about 3.5. That's okay. We'll tighten this on by hand. Get our crescent wrench here, and we'll get this tightened up. Should have it just about there. And that's about as tight as I can get it with these. Now, just due to parts on hand, I have a male end here, a male end here, so I need a male-to-male double female connector. Again, this piece already has the pipe thread or the pipe dip tape on there. So you just screw these together just as before, and then take the wrench and tighten these, maybe 3 or 4 rotations, depending on how tight you can get that. Okay. I like to clear off the extra myself. This is what it looks like here by itself. And then I'll just do a dry fit. Clean off that tape here. So just as before, we'll do roughly 3 rotations. 1, 2, and 3. With a little bit of extra, that's fine for this. Screw it on the best you can. Use our trusty crescent wrench here. And we'll just tighten this piece together. 1, 2, 3. I'll do a little more just because it's loose. So I'll put that wrench back on there, tighten it back up. Come on. Alright, so I came back here. This crescent wrench kept slipping off to where it was crimped onto the pipe. In my case, I had a 14mm wrench here that I just inserted on there. And we'll just try to get this coupler just a little bit tighter. And you can see that box wrench there works a lot better. And depending on what wrenches you have, it doesn't matter. Just want to get that tight. So this is what your final product looks like with the hose. 1/4 inch coupled to a 1/4 inch release, and then a quick release 1/4 inch on the other end of the hose. Let's wrap up this video and I'll walk you through the parts I used for this build. Depending on how your irrigation system's set up, you might need different connectors. So this took me about 3 tries to run through the big box store and make sure I had the correct parts that would connect together and then actually do the build. The build itself, the video was real time. I didn't do hardly any editing on this one. For my irrigation system, I used copper pipe and I made a connection so that I could connect from a garden hose adapter, convert that all the way down into a 1/4 inch male quick connect fitting. The main part here that I used, this was what was a little bit tricky to find, is an FHT 3/4 inch down to a 3/4 inch FIP. And I have this here. I got this at my local big box store. After that, it's just converting all the way down to the smallest size part that you have. So next I'd use 3/4 inch MIP to 3/8 of an inch FIP. Then I took a 3/8 inch MIP down to a 1/4 inch FIP, and then again the 1/4 inch MIP quick connect setting. So it's basically what that's telling you is that first number here that we had, the 3/4 inch FHT, that's going to connect to the garden hose adapter. Everything else, the F's are for female, so that's where you screw into. The M's are for the male, those are the threaded pieces, and you just keep attaching those and converting those down to your lowest part. The 1/4 inch male end, and I can insert that into this quick release, so I just pull that in, insert, let go, and it's not going anywhere. This is a 1/4 inch female FIP. Over here we have a female end to the male end of the 3/8 pipe. If I flip this around, on the other end of the hose we have a 1/4 inch quick connect fitting, a female 1/4 inch coupler, that's female to female, and that will attach to the 1/4 inch male end of this pipe. There are hundreds of different pipe ends, so based on the connections that you have multiple options to convert from your irrigation system all the way into the piping that you want. Some people have 1/2 inch pipe, some people might have a copper pipe running through their house out to their irrigation. It doesn't matter what you have, there's always a way to connect from what you have to what you need to go to. If you like this video or found it informational, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below or hit that like button so I know which videos you guys enjoy, and I'll continue to make more of those. So stay tuned for the next video coming up where we'll actually walk you through the steps of using the Quick Connect adapter and the hose that we just built and winterize your irrigation system yourself. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.